What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you a retro fantasy draft on NHL 13. This game is 10 years old now, which is pretty crazy. Like, I can't believe this came out a decade ago. So, we're going to do a fantasy draft challenge here, guys, just to try and see if we can build a team that win the Stanley Cup in the first year. As you can see on the menu here, GM Connected was a thing back in NHL 13, but today we're going to be playing a GM mode, of course, with the fantasy draft. And of course, we're using all the regular settings here, but with fantasy draft turned on. One kind of cool thing I noticed, for starting rosters, they actually have draft day default. So I think that means you can use the rosters were like at the draft, the year this game came out. So that would have been like the 2012 draft. I think that's like what's going on there. Only thing I actually have to change here is turning off injuries. And then whenever I do a fantasy draft, one of these old games, I like to use a team that no longer exists. Which is kind of crazy. Like 10 years ago, all these teams from then still exist, except for one that's technically exists, technically doesn't. Phoenix Coyotes here, of course, now the Arizona Coyotes. So we'll just use them. GM skill level. Oh, interesting. So easy, you get like better boost, medium, hard. I guess we'll do hard because it's only 1 year anyways. I can't see it being too tough. Now, it's loading the fantasy draft. So I think whatever it loads into is going to be our pick. We have pick number 10. I'm fine with that. Tampa Bay there picking first overall. So I am curious to see. Crosby there goes 1. Letang, Stamkos, Ovechkin, Price, Malkin, Giroux, Datsuk. Oh, we just missed him. Ryan Miller. Okay, so our picks up next. I wish I could see what those overalls are for those guys. Maybe there's a way to check after. But you got Chara here, Daniel Henrik-Sedin, Weber, Keith, Parise Hayes at 90, Kovalchuk, Taze, Zetterberg, Phaneuf. Interesting. So kind of like today, there's not too many high-rated guys. Like after the top 10, there's only 2 guys left there still 91s. Although Lundqvist there in net also a 91. And look at this, guys. They just sorted by potential. David Rundblad here, 4.5 stars back when he was supposed to be sick. Nuge there, though, was also 4.5. He's only an 80. Sven Barchi, Krejci, Adam Larson, Eberle there, Fowler, Taze. Definitely interesting in seeing some of these. Emerson Edom really never turned out to be the player everyone thought. Tyler Seguin, Taylor Hall, both there. Okay, so we've got some choices for sure. Look at this, Victor Hedman, 85, 4.5 stars. And you know what, guys? I'm honestly looking at taking Zdeno Chara here, even though he's 35 years old, 91 overall, 6'9". Like, the dude's an absolute beast. I feel like with him on our back, yeah, I'm going to be tough to beat. Now, again, I wish I could see the ratings for those top 10 guys, but I guess not. As around the second round here, guys, I'll show you the rest of the first here. You can see Jonathan Toews went to pick after ours. Maybe that was actually the right move because he is younger than Chara, but we've got, like, you know, Chara in his prime NHL 13. I think that came out a year after the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. You can see the rest of the picks there. Kind of surprising. Daniel Sedin went at 15, yet Henderson didn't go until the second round, so that's kind of crazy. Erik Karlsson there, 9th pick in the second round. Wow. I think that's like kind of just before he got awesome. Henrik Zetterberg there, I wouldn't mind at all. They have him as a left winger, but he can definitely play center for us. 80 faceoffs. Host is there too. Thornton. I mean, obviously a lot of computers are going to be taking the younger guys with potential I was showing you earlier. I'm just looking for the highest rated guys, so I'm actually going to probably go with Henrik Zetterberg here. 31, not too old. Maybe Martin St. Louis we could get 37 as like a later pick. That'd be kind of sick. But like I was saying, guys, taking Zetterberg there. Cronwall actually went right after him. PK Subban as well. Third round here, Marian Hossa, Rick Nash, both just chosen. Those were 2 guys I was eyeing. Joe Thornton there gives us a great playmaker. Imagine we get him and Patty Marleau, reunite them on, say, like, I don't know, honestly, it could be the first line. Jason Spezza, Patrick Sharp, Brad Richards. Lots of good players still available. Patrice Bergeron, 2786. Surprised he was actually that low rated there. Defensive awareness, obviously, still good. Nick Backstrom, Kiprusoff. Wow, some of these names you haven't seen in a long time. Tim Thomas there. Tuukka Rask, 4.5 star potential. Brent Burns here as well, 2786. So he's a bit younger. I'm thinking I might go with him. Him and Chara, I think, is a great top D pair. And of course, I think like the older guys should still be there for a bit. Thornton and Marleau are gone. St. Louis, though, is still there because he's 37. Okay. Do we take St. Louis right now? Danny Heatley, we might have to take him, the all-star. Are you kidding me? 85 overall. Wow, is he still going to be there with our next pick? I feel like he should be, but maybe not, though. I'm trying to remember, do we have a late pick right now? We do, so there's a chance he'll still be there. Goalie-wise, yeah, we still got like those veteran 87s. Let's go. I mean, Brad Richards is younger than St. Louis. Gives us a pretty solid centerman there. Could actually reunite them, 2 Tampa Bay players. Wow, a lot of guys here I want. Vinny LeCavier as well. That's like the entire like Tampa Bay, you know, core basically that won the Stanley Cup back in 04. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I know it's not the best pick here, but I'm gonna take Danny Heatley. Because of everyone here, I want Danny Heatley the most. Like, we gotta have him on our team. It's just too funny not to. So, Brad Richards just got taken at the top of the second. Pavelski there. Joffrey Lupul. I see Koivu's gone, Brizgalov. I think St. Louis is still available, so that was actually the pick. He is. Don't want to wait any longer on him. Very good player there, 87 overall. Obviously, he's older. Blake Wheeler there with the pick after St. Louis. Very interesting. Okay, so Dan Boyle gives us a solid defenseman. Tim Thomas. After that, there's really not much left. He's 38. Could risk it or could just get him as our starting goalie. I feel like let's take Thomas, make sure we have a goalie there. Round 6 might have been a bit early on him, but that's okay. Some of these names are seen like you'll probably recognize, obviously. Dan Boyle's still there. I mean, we get him. Our defense can be so good. We only have 3 forwards. Chris Pronger, he should still be there for quite a while because he is 37. Eric Cole I always like just because his last name, same as my first name. A lot of defensemen are actually available, though, so might have to start taking forwards here, actually. Daniel Alfredson, 39.84. You know what, guys? I'm looking at the forwards here. There's really not that many good forwards available, so I'm thinking let's take a Ginla here to make sure we get a solid enough first line. I feel like defense, again, can wait longer on them. Like, look at all these older, still pretty high-rated defensemen. Danny Briere, I used to love him as a kid, too. Maybe we add him. Could also add Daniel Alfredson there, but he's 39, so he should still be available for a bit. So let's go Briere with our next pick. Then I think defenseman, and then I think Alfredson if he's still there. Dan Boyle's still kind of hanging around. Chris Pronger. I'd love to have both of them, honestly. So let's go Boyle. If Pronger's still available with the next one, we'll go Pronger. And then we'll go Alfredson. Pronger's there. He's at the top. Let's take him again. I don't really know when these guys are going to go because I haven't done a fantasy draft on this game in a decade. Alfredson is still there. I think we have to take him. The best forward available by far. Next is 82, Shane Doan. Ribeiro there. I think we got in another fantasy draft, the NHL 2K10 one. He's got really good offensive skill, but I'll go Alfredson first. If Ribeiro is still there, he's not, but you have a 42-year-old Teemu Selanne. This team is going to be all veterans. Shane Doan. I feel like Solani's got more offensive play. Yeah, I think Solani's definitely the pick. Let's go with him. That's pretty sick. So we have our starting goalie. We have a top 4D. We have 7 forwards now. Technically no center. Although, again, I think Zetterberg's going to play center for us. Sean Horkoff isn't terrible. Got a decent 2-way game. Could run him on like the PK and stuff. Mark Savard there. I've actually played ESHL with him before. That'd be kind of cool. So let's see Savard's stats. A little bit better offensively than Horkoff, 35. Horkoff's 33. So let's go Horkoff first. Get a guy that can play on the PK. And if Savard's still there, I think I'll take him with our next pick. It looks like he's gone though. Okay, so a lot of defensemen. Like, I don't know why there's honestly so many. Let's go Shane Doan with the next one. Give us another like solid winger. At this point, we definitely need centers though, because we have 2 with 8 wingers. So we're probably good for the wings. Yeah, like we literally have our forwards filled out. We need a couple centers. Defense, I mean, look at all those guys available. That's crazy. It looks like I'm sorting by defense. I'm not. Patrick Elias there, I think's the pick. Yuri Yager, I'd love to add Yager. Okay, so we'll go Elias first. Then we'll go Yager. Just again for fun if he is available, which he is. Then I think we go 2 defensemen, and then we get the backup goalie. We may have to still add 1 forward after that. Kimmo Timonen's still there. 84 overall. I know he's 37, but I think that's a must-take. Next pick here, another defenseman. Sergei Gonchar would be pretty sweet. Vishnevsky, Oland. I mean, this team is just all veterans, so might as well just go highest rated in Gonchar there. So we have our top 6D. Need a forward now, need a backup goalie. You got Vinny Prospel there. Let's see his stats. 4-star shooting, 4-star puck skill. Matt Cullen, defensively, 4 stars. Speed's really not the greatest. Hal Gill, could have got him, 6'7". I remember him, just huge. Ray Whitney there. For a second, I thought that was Ryan Whitney. Ed Jovanovski is actually from Windsor, but we're already good. Todd Bertuzzi. Let's see. Scotty Gomez there. Milan Hajduk. Oh my god. Look at this guy. Mika Zibanejad, 69, 4-star potential. Could add him here late. Just to play on our 4th line or something. Ryan Ellis there as well. Barchi's still kicking around, saying the facts, even though they got 4.5 star. Brandon Gormley there. Remember, he was supposed to be so good. Edom, Siemens. A lot of these guys, of course, ended up being busts. You know what? Just for fun, I'm thinking it's Zibanejad. Like, he is 69. He's almost a 70. I got James Schwartz there. Jordan Wheel, I remember him. Another guy who was supposed to be good. Alright, so yeah, let's just take Zibanejad there for fun. And I have to get a backup goalie now in the last round. Hopefully somebody decent still available. Ooh, Heavy Bulin. Was once good. He's a 77 now. Jaguar. Okay, Budai. I guess we're going to go... Honestly, Jaguar was one of my favorite goalies as a kid, playing for the Ducks. He's overall below Heavy Bulin, but he's 4 years younger. So we'll go Jay Shigeru there to be our backup goalie, and we'll just sim the next, I don't know, whatever it is, picks. I see Zuccarello actually just went like round 22. We get Joe Morrow there at the end. So, again, I'm really not sure how this team's going to do. You look at our team, Shaw, Zetterberg, St. Louis, Burns, Boyle. I think they actually played together on the Sharks. Healy, Iginla, Pronger, and Timonen were together on the Flyers. So we have some nice D pairs. Again, a lot of veterans on this team. Good thing. Side cut doesn't matter for fancy drafts because I think we'd be well above it. These guys here, I think, just the ones that they randomly took. Like I said, we're going to get Zibanejad involved there, see how he does. Should be fun. Alright guys, so I just finished editing the lines. As you can see here, we actually got an offer from the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think that's Bobby Butler and a 3rd round pick for Pronger. I'm declining that though. So I'll show you guys what the lines are looking like. I feel like we definitely have a chance of being Stanley Cup champs, especially since, you know, the other teams got a lot of prospects. So first line there, Danny Heatley, the All-Star, playing with Zetterberg, St. Louis. We got Iginla, Briere, and Alfredson on the second line. Yager, Zibanejad, Solani on the third, with Doan, Horkoff, and Elias on the fourth. So kind of funny, we got like 2 of the oldest dudes in the game. Yager here is 40, I think Solani is like 42, and they're playing with the youngest guy on the team in Zibanejad. So we'll see how that goes. Again, Zibanejad does have that 4-star goal potential. Also too, Zetterberg, Briere actually both naturally wingers, but they got decent face-offs. Zetterberg's got 80, Briere's got 73, so hopefully that's okay for us. Now defensively we look really solid. Chara, Burns in the top pair, Boyle, Pronger second. Timonen and Gonchar on the bottom, I feel like we'll be fine there. Goaltending wise, we got Tim Thomas starting, of course, Shigeru backing him up. The first power play unit here I think looks really good. Dan Boyle, of course, kind of like our best offensive defenseman. Even the second one there I think looks solid. The 4-man, you know, pretty similar. The PK with Chara, I think is going to be fine. Same with Pronger even. 3-man PK there again. Zetterberg, Horkoff are going to be the 2 centers throughout. So again, I think this team looks pretty good. I'm hoping it'll actually show us our ratings here. If I click on play game, I honestly forget. Okay, so there we actually have the star system back then, 10 years ago. 4.5 stars for everything. Sharks there's 4, 4, 3.5. So yeah, like we're a pretty decent team. I think at the beginning I accidentally simmed by it, but the owner or whatever said he wanted us to get at least 44 wins, which is actually quite a bit, so we'll see if we can hit that or not. Also too guys, before we start the sim, I thought it'd be cool to show you all the different trade values of the players on this team. You can see Zetterberg there has the most by quite a bit. Then you got Chara, Burns, I guess we got Siemens later on in the draft. I thought this was pretty funny. Zibanejad has the same amount of trade value as Max Reinhart. So that just shows you, you know, EA's player ratings, potentials weren't the best 10 years ago, and they haven't gotten much better, but what are you going to do if you guys are curious? For instance, Crosby, he's got the max value. Bobby Ryan there's got quite a bit. Brad Richards there also has a decent amount. And looking at draft picks here, you can see they really weren't worth much back in the day. I feel like that's why it was so easy to always trade for the top pick and get that awesome prospect. Like, it looks like a first-round pick's the same value as 37-year-old Pronger, maybe actually even less, so kind of nuts. And look at this, guys. After saying they're expecting us to get 44 wins, they're now saying they expect us to make the conference finals, so pretty high expectations on this team. Now, this is pretty cool, guys. So I just simmed the All-Star game. We can actually play it if you want to. I'm not going to. I just want to see which of our players made the All-Star game. So I think Blue's the Western team and Red's the Eastern team. I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Starting lineups here. So looking for one of our guys. Zetterberg. Yeah, Blue is Western. Zetterberg there on line 2. Could potentially also have another player made it. Kessel there with the Leafs. That's pretty funny. Okay, so no more forwards for us. Defensively, Keith Doughty, Martin Carlson, Delzato Shankirk. Okay, so unless Tim Thomas made it, only Zetterberg for us on the All-Star team, but still pretty cool. Also, guys, I figured I'd show you the Eastern team quick. Look at this. You got Ovi, Crosby, Marlowe, Malkin, Datsuk, Perry. This team's stacked. Gagne there, Giroux, Taze, Ladd, 77 Backlund, Verbata, Ryan Whitney, Unreal, Stahl, Ehrhoff, Bogosian, Quincy, Vishnowsky. In net for them, they got Fleury, Brizgalov. So pretty cool to see, you know, who was the All-Stars 10 years ago. Right now, we're 23, 17, and 5, which currently puts us 9th place in the Western Conference. Tied there, actually, with Calgary and Columbus. So, you know, we're right there fighting for a playoff spot. We're only a point back, Chicago, Edmonton. 2 points back at Dallas, so definitely still can make the playoffs, but a lot of teams, you know, fighting for those few spots. Also, two guys on the side there, you can see Iginla currently leading the team in goals with 16. Zetterberg's got 24 assists. I like, too, it actually shows, like, league leaders in goals and assists on the main page. Ovi there, 31 goals. Daniel Sedin, 45 assists. Henrik right behind him, so yeah, like, definitely, you know, different menu, but pretty cool. Alright guys, so it's at the end of the season here. We have a record of 42, 29, 11, so that's good for 95 points. We did fall just shy of our goal of 44 wins, but whatever, the owner's gonna have to get over it. Zetterberg there, 26 goals and 43 assists, so he had 69 points on the year. Nice. Char's got 120 penalty minutes. That's quite a bit. Standings here, we're 5th place in the Western Conference. We're making the playoffs there with 95 points. Eastern Conference there. Wow, Buffalo gets in with 89. Okay, so goals. Ovechkin had 57. Most assists there's Daniel Sedin with 69. I don't like how it doesn't show there. Points, okay. Ovechkin 99. Sedin there 96. We could have drafted him. Same with Parise, Kovalchuk. Crosby there at 8th with 85. Wins, Thomas Vokoun 47. And he was available in the fantasy draft for quite some time. Alright, so we'll see how our team does here in the playoffs. I'm actually not even sure who we're going to be playing because NHL 13, I'm pretty sure this is back when it was just like the regular 1v8, 4v5, I think, right? So we got Minnesota Wild first here. Right here, you guys can see what that team's looking like. They got Callahan, Camilleri, Gaborik on the first line. So Gaborik returns to the team that drafted him. That's pretty sick. I mean, their second line's not great. They got a bunch of 70s in the bottom 6. We have way more depth. Defensively, they got Seabrook and Myers, which isn't too bad. They still have 2 70s, though, bottom pair. Goalies, Jimmy Howard there. I mean, I think our team's way better, but I guess we'll see what happens here. So, 7-game series. Let's see how we do. Led by Chara. We lose the first game 2-1. AHL team makes the playoffs as well. First 2 games are away, so maybe we can, come home and get some wins. We actually win game 2, 2-0. You guys can see, like, 10 years ago, the games were way slower to sim. Game 3 won as well. Game 4, we also win. Okay, so we just have to win 1 of the next 3. I probably should have done it on the calendar to make it easier to see, but there we go. We actually win 4 straight there. Move on to round 2. Now, before we start round 2, guys, one thing I did forget to show you is just how good everyone did on our team. So, as I mentioned, Zetterberg, 69 points. St. Louis there, 59, only 8 penalty minutes. I can't believe it. Ginla there, 103. Healy there, 43, 24 goals. Not quite, 15-07. We'll take it, though. Briere, Solani, both 42. Alfredson, 38. Chara, 34, 119 penalty minutes. Just insane. I thought Brent Burns would put up more than 30 points. Even Boyle still. Yager, 24 there in his old age. Zibanejad, 17 points. Still 69 overall, so didn't go up in rating, unfortunately, but, figured we'd give it a try. Let's see our goalie stats here. So, Tim Thomas, 2.29. Save percentage, 91.7. Jaguar, actually, similar save percentage there. And not much worse goals against, and he's 10 overall less. So, even 10 years ago, it looks like the goalies don't matter too much. But next year, guys, in round 2, we have the St. Louis Blues, so we'll take a look at that team. They got Joffrey Lupul, Miku Koivu, Marian Hossa first line, Brad Boyd's back on the team there, Tomu Ruutu, Brendan Morrow, Zach Cassian, Mike Fisher. Okay, let's see their defense. Nicholas Kronwall's in 88 with Markov, Regier, Martin, Commissary, Kabina. Goalies, they got 92 Ryan Miller with an 82 Marmadur. That's such a sick goalie tandem. Okay, so as I mentioned, I think we can look at it better here. Yeah, on the calendar. We're going to sim through all 7 games here, guys, see how we do. Looks like they do have the home ice advantage. Still, though, pull away with the first win there, 5-3. Game 2 now, I thought for a second it was frozen. We win that 2-1. Game 3 at home is a 4-1 win. We're looking good here. And 3-1 there, Game 4. Okay, so maybe having all those veterans is helping us out here in the playoffs. Of course, they got that experience. They got the higher poise. They've been there. They've done that. Liking how this is going so far. Regular season, we were like a pretty average playoff team. So far, though, we're 8-1 in the playoffs, and we have the Avalanche up next. All right, guys, so Colorado here is pretty sick first line. Daniel Sedin, Patrice Bergeron, Phil Kessel. They got Gianto on the second with Stepan, Umberger. Bottom 6 is pretty good. High 70s, low 80s. Defensively, okay, defensively is not great. Ours is definitely better. Like Chris Phillips, Ian White on the top pair. Goaltending, they got 82 Niemi. So this team, I think, is just being carried by Daniel Sedin right now. I don't want to jinx this or anything, but we are the better team. We'll see what happens here. Still, they have the home ice advantage. It's been kind of the case all playoffs. And we lose the first 2 games. Not good. We head home. Get a win, 3-2. Game 4, we need this one. 5-0 loss. And that's all she wrote. That Colorado Avalanche team beat us in 5. I'm disappointed with the year. I figured it was pretty clear what was expected of the team and you as a GM. The Phoenix Coyotes failed to make the kind of impact this season that I was hoping for. He wanted 44 wins, I got 42. He wanted to make the conference finals, we did. That is such a joke. That's why I kind of hated the owner mode sometimes. Especially, too, if you have like a bad team that you're trying to rebuild, and then he's asking for a bunch of wins or whatever. I can't believe that. Like, after looking at the Avalanche team, too, I don't know how we didn't beat that team. And the playoffs are now over, guys. The Pittsburgh Penguins there, your Stanley Cup champs, beating the Colorado Avalanche. I forgot, too, they actually had the top prospects game in this. That was always a lot of fun to see. And so next year, guys, we'll take a look at our player stats for the playoffs. McGinley there is actually the leading scorer with 10, Zetterberg 9, same with Solani. Pretty good for a third liner. St. Louis 7, Honestly, would have hoped for more from him. Now, our top line is Heatley, Zetterberg, St. Louis. So where's Heatley? He went cold in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? 3 points. Come on. And then Tim Tom. Why did Jaguar start? I mean, he had insane numbers. 1.92, 9 wins, 3 losses. Why did Jaguar start, though? What the heck? Tim Thomas was the starter. I guess they thought Jaguar had better numbers. That's a weird one. I mean, with those numbers, though, we can't blame it on him. Like, it's definitely not his fault that we lost. That's just a strange thing to see. Pittsburgh swept the Avalanche. Wow, okay. So, let's see. They beat the Sabres there in 6, Panthers in 6, Senators in 5. Now, they also won the President's Trophy. That's pretty crazy. Francis Campbell, Prince of Wales, we know that one. Now, the player awards here, you got Ovechkin with the Art Ross Trophy, Sedin there with the Hart. James Norris went to Adam Larson on the Red Wings. Oh my. Makes the Taylor Hall trade look a little bit better if you ever won one of those. Parise there, Lady Bing. Nyquist with the Calder. Both those guys were on Montreal. Brizgalov, Conn Smythe. I mean, it's just a game and he's playing it well. He also won the Vezina Trophy. Anna Jennings there, jeez. Brooks Orpik got the Bill Masterton. Travis Zajac, Selke Trophy. Thomas O'Kuhn, Ted Lindsay. Wow, best player voted by the NHLPA. That's interesting over Ovechkin. And then Ovi there got the Maurice Richard. Interesting. Wow, so a goalie with the Ted Lindsay. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That's our NHL 13 fantasy draft. Was hoping for Stanley Cup, but at least, made the conference final. If you guys enjoyed this one, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit something down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.